So this business of fixing other people's karma, you can't. You can take it onto yourself, but you cannot heal it. You cannot cancel out karma. You see, karma cannot be cancelled out. Once karma activates, the consequence will be fulfilled to the last millimeter. Either in the person or somewhere else. Nobody can stop
So
it.
that this, I don't know the names of the people, but from where the Mahamrityunjaya started. So the lady actually interfered, the father interfered with the karma. Son was supposed to die, and that's how the Mahamrityunjaya was created. So he actually interfered, and even the lady who got her husband.
Mahamrityunjaya is part of the Rig Veda. The people who saw the verses of the Rig Veda, they were Rishis. Rishis see the verses. They hear the verses. They don't write them down. They actually pluck it out because the verses are existing and vibrating. So this story is something that has come later. The Mahamrityunjaya is something much older. The Mahamrityunjaya is one of the oldest mantras to have come into human consciousness. Gayatri, for instance, it's very old. So the Rishi is the person who can see the mantra or hear the mantra and then can communicate. The people of the Vedas don't talk about that. They were another level of evolution. So these later stories, Sthala Purana as they are called, every temple has a place that something very cosmically significant happened. Most of them are quite simply and frankly lies, made up stories. But at a deep level, you can't fix somebody else's karma. Please don't try. If you are healing, please understand you have interfered. Am I willing to take this responsibility? Now, for people in the family, we probably would say yes. It is not a rule, it is an expectation. Yeah? But as a yogi, you need to ask yourself that question. You need to, and yogi does not mean just the accomplished person who can do miracles. Anybody who is sincere about transforming himself or herself, anybody who is sincere about uniting to the larger consciousness is a yogi, is a person in yoga. So as a yogi, you got to ask yourself, do I have that much self-confidence? Do I have that much self-importance that I will interfere in another person's karmic stream? Because why that activated, we don't know. And so today the prevalence of cancer is because consciousness is up. Everybody in karmic terms is ready to make the next step in evolution, but they have not done any of the work. So the body has to burn up the karma somehow or the other. Cancer chalo to activate the cancer in the person. So we need to be very careful. I'm not saying don't help people, especially coming back to that example I got deflected. If you have a very young person and they have a life-threatening disease, it takes extraordinary amount of courage to say, okay, that's the karma, let it be. Somebody who's just 30 and they've got cancer. But it happens. Nowadays we are seeing all those stories. It takes extraordinary amount of courage to see. But somebody comes to me after a lifetime of drinking and smoking and saying, please help because I've got cancer. And I'm like, what did you expect? When people say you're a yogi, you should be compassionate. I said, this is one of the biggest misconceptions, that yogis are compassionate. You're mistaking us with fakirs. Fakirs are compassionate. So yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. I stopped, and I don't mind saying it was a big problem for me to stop because it was very lucrative. Lucrative. But I stopped healing because I have phenomenal skill as a healer. It is one of life's great ironies that you have such a great ability and no adhikar. Absolutely no adhikar. So even Sri Aurobindo used to be very strict about it because he was a grand healer, and even bigger and greater healer than him was the mother, which if can be imagined. And he used to really scold people who would start healing, saying, "What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing?" So, when you are at that level, you will get the signs, you will get the right why you have to be. It is less risky for a person in yoga to heal, a person who is doing pranayama especially, who is doing a kundalini yoga course especially. It is less risky because the fire of the kundalini keeps burning away, keeps burning away, keeps. But all this business of sending disease into the purple flame and into the sun, I mean, people don't know what they are doing. You are insulting the great energies behind those. Those are all spiritual things, The purple flame can be used for healing, yes. You can't pluck out the whole disease and throw it into, certainly not into the sun. Please be more respectful of the sun. The sun is the literal source of life, it is a spiritual source of life. The sun is Shiva. The sun is the right eye. Our right eye is Shiva, The sun is the solar manifestation of Shiva. And that is what you're giving. You're saying, here, take this disease. Take this bad karma. It's a problem. And if possible, even stupider than to heal the disease. You have a problem in life and karmic. Money is blocked. It can be done. I'm not saying don't do it, but always heal yourself. If you have a situation in life that is blocked, heal. They teach you, write it down on a paper and then hold it between your palms and beam energy to it every day and then put it into a box. They teach you all this stuff and it works.